Sisolak closed everything that's non-essential, but he didn't close the casinos, but he did close the casinos. We're going to talk about that in this video. We're going to talk about if it's responsible for the casinos to have stayed open as long as they could. We're going to talk about 2 emails that I got yesterday and people taking shots saying if I think it's responsible for Vegas YouTubers to be walking around promoting the city as it is anymore. And we're going to talk about all that stuff in this video, and it might get a little ranty, and I try not to do the rants because I think it's really easy for people to get upset and just get mad and start throwing their you-know-what like a monkey everywhere, and we don't want to do that because that's how animals respond. My name is Steven. Like, share, subscribe to videos if you think I deserve it at any point in this video. Hit the notifications so you know when I'm doing the new videos in case YouTube decides to stop promoting us. And if you want to be in the credits, yes, I am pushing my Patreon. You can donate to the Patreon. It's in the first comment here. And thank you guys. I had 2 random donations from PayPal yesterday. I asked them both to choose some video topics. So coming up on the channel, we're going to have the history of Vegas hotels, the before and afters and the photos and stuff. And I have a microphone coming to my P.O. box. And thank you to that other person who's sending me some gifts from New York. I appreciate you. That was very nice of you. My wife and I will enjoy those gifts to my P.O. box. Okay, here we go, this video. Governor Steve Sisolak, I might have said Sandoval at the beginning, that's the old guy. Steve Sisolak, he closed down the casinos, but he didn't close down the casinos. He closed all non-essential things. And this means that everything is open in terms of grocery stores, gas stations, pet supply stores, veterinarians, hospitals, doctors' offices, the things that need to keep going, gas stations, home improvement centers, if I didn't already say those. The things that you need to keep your life and your society somewhat stable, those are open right now, but everything else is closed. They're asking grocery stores, begging them, please stay open. The casinos were not, this is what's funny though, this is what gets me. And I am a capitalist, I'm not raging against big business, but they didn't close the casinos officially. The governor never sat up and said, casinos are closed. He never said that. Instead, what they did was they said at midnight tonight, or midnight tomorrow, that's a few hours ago that happened, March 18th at 12 a.m. Now it's March 18th about 6:45 a.m. We are turning off the slot machines. They won't operate anymore. And table games are done, and that's something you have to adhere to. Casinos, you can't get around that. And if you don't know any better, a lot of people don't, slot machines are controlled by a server that has to be authenticated by the state. So when I went to the gas station yesterday on the way home, I looked over and all the machines were off a little bit early. It was about 8:30 at night, and all the screens said out of service or call attendant. And I said, what happened with those? He goes, well, about the same time the governor gave his speech, they stopped working. So they're done. Well, what it leads me to think is like, wow, look at that. The governor doesn't want to mess with the casinos, so he didn't say close, but he did turn off their main revenue stream right now. And I was going to do a video today on whether or not it's responsible for the casinos to have stayed open. I got a thread hanging. Shouldn't do that, I know, but it's a cheap old shirt. Is it responsible for the Venetian and the Palazzo and the Caesars properties to stay open? That was going to be the subject of the video. Then I got an email saying I'm irresponsible for suggesting people don't come here. And then I got an email saying another channel was telling me that they're mocking me for being in my car. And I'm thinking, is it responsible to even come here right now? Is it responsible for Vegas bloggers to walk around the Strip and tell people and kind of promote the city right now? And I'm going to explain to you, hopefully with some logic, why that's not responsible. So get this, right? You guys might be of the school of thought that this is a nasty flu and it's not going to hurt you. And that's good. I hope you have a robust immune system. I hope you're the type that doesn't really get sick every single year, and you don't have to worry about flu shots. You don't have to worry about bronchitis and asthma. You don't have to worry about comorbidity. But I'm going to tell you something that worries me, okay? My anxiety level for the past week now has been a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 as days go by. And I don't really say this on the camera because I want to be neutral, but I don't want to be neutral just for a brief second, all right? So my father, who I love dearly, who is a great guy, a super good guy, he has rheumatoid arthritis. He takes immunosuppressant drugs. In men, rheumatoid arthritis is an immune disease and it attacks your joints, thinking that the cartilage in your joints is a foreign body it has to kill. That's why the joints get all gnarled up. He's been on these drugs for years. It helps him function and even get out of bed. And so he has a suppressed immune system. So I'm going to paint you a scenario right now as to why it's not responsible for bloggers to walk around the Strip and people to promote coming here, and it's not really responsible for people to come here right now. Somebody comes here from Washington. I love Washington State. I have friends in Washington State. One of my good friends that helped me dearly through my move with my GoFundMe. She's awesome. Her initials are CT, and she's great. She's from Washington, and I would never, ever not meet a person from Washington except for right now. You see, here's the thing. If you were in Washington and 6 links down the chain, somebody was infected with this thing, and you came into contact, then you came to Vegas, you don't know you're sick because you don't have much symptoms. You have seasonal allergies, so when you're at the snack bar, you go, achoo, you pick up a bottle of water, you put it down, you don't know anything's better than that. And then the guy picks it up that works there, moves it to where it belongs, goes to the store, touches a box of sandwich bags that he might buy, doesn't buy it, puts it down. 2 or 3 more people come in, the stalker at the store touches it, he touches more things. I pick up that same box of sandwich bags because this thing lives on cardboard for 24 hours. They said yesterday on the news, 24 hours, that this thing lives on a cardboard for 24 hours. Then I come home and I put it in my house, and my wife picks it up and puts it in the cupboard. How many countless people, between somebody from Washington that didn't know any better coming here thinking they have seasonal allergies, sneezing, to the guy at the snack bar, to everybody, and then somebody else picked up that box because they're on vacation and they're staying at their timeshare, and then they fly back to Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and then my dad has to go to a gas station and he works the pump. After they work the pump, now he's sick. And he's in the hospital because his immune system doesn't work right. And he's one of those people that are in the small risk group. But I could lose him because of something that nobody knew any better about. Because somebody's walking around the strip promoting the strip, it's not responsible. And I'm going to tell you this, Vegas is so big and so massive and so huge that it's not going to go away anytime soon. The strip isn't going away. It doesn't have a best by date. It doesn't expire. It's not Cinderella's carriage from the Cinderella story. It doesn't turn into a pumpkin at 12:01 if we don't go into the casinos and gamble. It's going to be okay. The powers that be right now, we're going to make another video about this because that's a whole other topic. These casinos are asking for government money apparently. I don't think they're going to get it. I mean, I think they have to do some readjustments, which is another video I'm going to make. How do the casinos readjust after this? How do the casinos win back the loyalty of the locals and the regular common folk, the people who make 60 grand as a household a year, which is about common in this country, not catering to the people that make 200 grand. So the people that make 200 grand are the ones that don't complain about the resort fees, although you know they're there and you might not like them, you can still afford to pay them. How do they regroup? Those are some video topics I'm working on in my head that I'm going to be rolling out in the next few days. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, right? But to have a guy, a YouTuber, in his car, telling me, no, he's not in his car, making fun of the YouTuber in his car. I'm looking around, I'm searching YouTube channels. Oh, I guess that was me. To do that and then be telling people, hey, I'm walking on the strip, that right there isn't even all that responsible, because you're walking on the strip, you're walking past people, you don't know what the situation is, and you, like I say, you might be of the sense of this is nothing, it's a bad flu. It's not a bad flu for some people. We don't know enough about it, and there's a lot of good news coming out. There's vaccine trials from China. There's an Israeli company that's been talking about how they have a vaccine. They just put the first vaccine in a healthy person to test it out up in Washington State on Monday. It was on the Associated Press, so those are on legitimate news out cycles other than the Chinese. We don't know how legitimate that is. But there is hope, there's a will, there's a way. And so I'm telling you guys, hold off on your trips right now. And then your next question is going to be, when should I come to Vegas? When should I do my trip? I would say, I don't know, May, June. I mean, look at the EDC as a bellwether. And this is something that another channel that made fun of me and mocked me said, and he made a good point. He was mocking and making fun of me, but somebody asked, and he said, "Look to the EDC. Use that as like a harbinger of things to come. Look at the EDC. Look at the World Series of Poker. That's at the end of May. If the World Series of Poker starts to kind of cancel itself out, then maybe we're somewhere, because that's a huge gathering, and there's a lot of money involved in that. They do not want to cancel the big money gatherings unless they absolutely have to." So that's your news update for today, and it's been a crazy 24 hours. I made a video last night, and it was really super emotional, and it was really charged up, and I have it on my phone, and I'm not going to show anybody that video, but I did make that video last night. It was 12 minutes and 44 seconds.
The current reality is that life is not.
And then I get really crazy in that video, but I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that video, because I want to be more level-headed. I want to sit down and I want to sleep on it. because level-headedness is really, really important. You have to have that. You have to use your thinking cells in your brain, not the emotional cells in your brain. And just remember, like I said in a video before, human beings are the only animals on Earth that have the ability to change and morph their situation around them. I mean, look, it's like Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn's an old motivational speaker guy, but he was a very smart guy. And he said, you know, if you tell a goose that they shouldn't fly south in the wintertime, they're not going to listen to you because that's what they're programmed to do. But human beings are programmed to do amazing things. We're programmed to propagate my wife's beautiful succulents. We're programmed to do whatever we want. We morph and we change the whole entire environment around us. And so we can change ourselves, we can change our patterns, we can change our behaviors, but right now we have to change. And other than professional offices, which I work in, on all these different essential services, we're on lockdown for 30 days, folks. So, I don't know. Listen to your common sense and don't be emotional, because I was last night. And that's what I'm saying to you today. Thanks for watching, sharing, liking. The credits roll in just a second. If I did not mention it, if you want to be in the credits, head on over to Patreon if you guys want to. If you made it this far in the video, I have to say thank you to two special people. One person was so generous with PayPal, the other person was too. I know who you are, and I am having you guys pick some video topics on the channel, and I gotta go in 3, 2, 1, and click.